Go. Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Friday, June the 28th. The year's 2024. Let's talk trading. Weekly wrap up with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and differ from Walmal. And this week, kind of an interesting week in a way. All gaps have filled according to the dashboard at weekly open gaps. Right now we're just 11 pips above the weekly open, 60 off the high, 30 off the low. Quick math tells me only a 90 pips of range for the week. That's pretty poor. That's pretty poor. And if we look here at the opening ranges, we are within the opening range of the week. We are within the opening range of the year. We're below the opening range of the month. So it looks like that's the way we're going to finish this month. Actually, not only is this a weekly wrap-up video, I just realized it's a monthly wrap-up video.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And interesting thing, you just mentioned how poor the weekly number was. The monthly number is just as bad. It's only in the 39th percentile and only 248 pips for the month range,
Yes.
which is really, really small.
Right. Yeah, and we are 69 pips below the yearly open, 250 off the high, 344 off the low. It's it looks pretty bad out there in terms of range. Inside bar, there's some action though. Let's see, what did we do today? We actually got inside the daily inside bar from 9 days ago, but then we dropped out of that. So anybody shorting the daily inside bar is rewarded. The monthly inside bar, we actually opened below it and then came back into it. And for the weekly inside bar, we are from 13 weeks ago, we're just stuck in there. But if you look on the dashboard, there's lots of inside bar action today. And speaking of inside bar, this daily is going to be an inside bar. So we'll start the month of June off with the expectation of breaking out of rather month of July with the expectation of breaking out of this inside bar if we finish like this. Here we got 41 pips of range right now, and we got 6 pairs over 100 pips, and just notice the dollar yen still above that 160 level, and I think it needs to break what did I say yesterday? Do you remember, or the day before, like about 160.24 or something, 28 for it to just slide off the edge there?
Yeah, that was about right. At least on my chart, that's where I've got a line. So
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, somewhere. So it looks like it actually touched it and bounced today. So, and yesterday there was an inside bar on dollar yen. So actually today would have been a good day to top scrape, considering it actually went above 161. So anywhere, any of the psychologicals along that way. So we had what, 161.28. So you could have gotten in at 25 or the double O, and or let's see, 160.86 was that high from 2 days ago. So there's plenty of places to take a short on the dollar yen. But back to the pound dollar, buy zone opportunities, both short and long. Let's see, the shorts would have only picked up a few pips. But if you played the weekly open crossover, there was a couple opportunities, I guess, somewhere in the Asian and early London. Then you had some buy zone longs for the past couple of hours. And actually that buy zone was in the launch pad, and you know what price likes to do when it goes in the launch pad. That 40 to 60, you can almost take that to the bank. Range too low for rats. As you can see here, the zones are just, there's only about 2 pips between the two rat zones. Bambino Flex indicator said to go short, and it said to go short near the pivot trading plan, short near the pivot, short near R1. And let's see. It looks like that short near the pivot paid off a couple of times today. Okay, speaking of pivots, we took out the daily, we took out the weekly, and we've taken out the monthly. So, no missed pivots this year on the month. We've got one missed pivot on the weekly back on the week of, let's see, April the 28th. And there's a missed pivot down at 124.44. And as far as daily goes, we have a missed pivot this month, June the 14th, up at 127, call it 70. It's actually 69.6 if you want to be exact. And we've got some missed pivots. We've got 4 missed pivots total this year. In and out of the upper wick zone today. That's yesterday daily candle upper wick zone. So the shorts had some opportunities. Actually, the short out of the launch pad. And looking at the smart ranges for the week, once again, 90 pips of range, or 91 depending on how it gets rounded. Oh, and that's at the 8th percentile for the last 12 weeks. We did not break out of the previous week's high. We did break out of the previous week's low by 9 pips. High minus the close right now 66. Close minus low 24. So red rats are rewarded. Green rats not so much. Weekly open crossovers. High minus open 71. Open minus low 19. So there were pips to be made on those horizontal lines. So Walmal, you said you made your pips for the day?
I did. I cleaned up. We had news drop at 8:30 Eastern time, and the market smiled upon me and gave me opportunities to go and take trades. And I took trades to the north once it actually settled down a little bit, and I took trades to the south and took trades back to the north. And so what do I have? I've got 4 trades for today and 38 pips in total. So I really can't complain. It was a really, really good day.
Hey, I want to know who you are. You're not Walmal. You used to have 50, 60 trades a day. I don't know you anymore.
I told you and there's wonderful audience many times that because of the way that pound is trading or moving, I got to go and change. And that's the thing, you know. You got to keep up with the times, sir. If the pound is going to go and do things different, well, I don't change my method. I don't change my strategy. I don't change my method. I may change my strategy a little bit, you know. And part of what I've done is that I'm waiting for edges, and I'm just taking those trades and those trades alone. I'm not taking the trades, you know, in between, you know, the edges. And what I mean by an edge is that, you know, what some people would call support and resistance. I'm waiting for support and resistance to show up on the chart and to, you know, and establish itself, then waiting for a flip-flop box in that area, and then I'm only taking those trades. And, you know, and then I may go and add in a trade on top of it. If I'm in money, I may go and add, you know, put a second trade in and say, okay, this thing looks like it's going to go from this edge all the way to the next edge. Or for people who like to use the 3LGZ, going from one 3-ball to the other 3-ball, or 2-ball to 2-ball. I don't do 1-ball to 1-ball, but I would do 2-ball to 2-ball, and definitely 3-ball to 3-ball, and just picking those pips up, because a lot of times these ranges that you get stuck in, you know, from a lot of times you'll look at your support and your resistance lines, and you look at it and you say support and resistance are only separated by 10 pips. Well, that makes it a little bit tight, and so that's what I'm shooting for. I'm shooting for just to grab those 10 pips, and I'm waiting for it to get to that edge, establish that it's there, establish that it's not going to continue going and break the range, but actually trade back into the white space between the two. And that's what I'm taking advantage of.
Yeah, well, right now I'm looking at the pound on the 1 minute chart, and it's putting in a 2 ball. Looks like it's going to test the 3 ball, maybe even make a new one. So would this be the edge that, just for the traders out there, is this the edge you're referring to?
Exactly. But I need to go and have, if this is the edge I'm talking about, now I got to go and I got to wait for some type of something to show up to give me a reason to go long here. I don't just go long because it hit the edge. I go long because it came back down to the edge. It did not go through it. Doesn't look like it wants to go through it. That's that's understanding price action to a certain extent. That's the art of trading. And then looking for using one of my methods, meaning like a flip flop backs or something along those lines.
Yeah, did we just have news drop?
We had news drop 15 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
Which really didn't do anything.
Yeah, because I just watched that candle drop about 3 pips. It ran up to 36 and dropped right back down to 33.
That was I think, just because of the new hour.
Yeah.
The pound likes to do that on new hours. But that's what I mean. Like right now, see, that's the reason why you don't go and just trade back into it, because look what it just did. It's extending that range further down. So it's blowing through that support area, that was clearly established with, however you want to go and look at it, with 3 balls or if you want to go and look at it, go and draw your boxes on the screen. If you're like an ICM type guy or whatever, I don't care who you're using or what you're using, but it obviously looks like he wants to break through it. It may just go and establish a new, support area just a few pips further down, and that's my rectangle of support just gets a little bit bigger. If it's only 2 or 3 pips below it, my rectangle of support just gets a little bit bigger. If it turns out that it breaks it by 10 pips or something like that, well, then that's obviously a new area of support.
Yeah, I just clicked up to the M15 chart, and I noticed there's an imbalance down here. You'll probably see it.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, looking here, it's like either it's going to reverse at this level, or it's going to come back down, probably go down to the psychological 25 and reverse. That's what I see. And okay, and just so you know, fellow traders, we have not added to the year-to-date accumulated range. And over the past 20 years, this is the lowest June of accumulated range, 594. And that's establishing a new record, like I said, for the past 20 years, because 799 was the previous lowest, and that was back in 2021. So that's just something to be aware of. Okay, and for the month, we've already stated it, but let's just show how bad it is. 248, that's the low. January was only 118. So that's the second lowest month so far this year. Once again, over the past 20 years, that is the lowest monthly range for June. Previous low was in 2019 at 278. So we are just, it's abysmal. And one other quick one here. Let's look at the ATR percent, 67. Once again, that's pretty abysmal. And fellow traders, as usual, the fastest 15 minutes in trading goes by so quick, it's just crazy. So I hope you all had a profitable month of June, profitable year so far. I'm going to wish you a fun and safe weekend. We got the 4th of July in the U.S. coming up next week, so it'll be interesting what kind of price action we see then. So, fellow traders, when you come back to trade, always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.